Good morning.
Morning. Okay, did you download the file?
Yes.
Yes, Professor.
Okay, have it open. The last exercise that we did was the player stats, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, most of you are here, so we're gonna start working. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on an online store. You guys are more into e-commerce, your area, than others. So we're gonna do something a little bit nicer than. This is what the other group did. Well, we're gonna do it a little bit better. Okay, we're actually not gonna use baseball cleats. We're gonna use something else, and we're gonna do the whole page. Now we're gonna start working with two things here: one, responsive web, and two, icons that are actually fonts. But first, let's start with the responsive web. Responsive web is when you need to design your website in a manner that is visible and is clear, like it looks good on a large TV or large screen, all the way down to a smartphone. Okay, so there are some images here about that. No, this is responsive web. Okay, so your website should look good on a normal desktop computer. We're going to call it a desktop version, or we're going to call it the mobile version. Desktop, a notebook, or tablet, or smartphone. Okay, so all the way from a large, I don't know, 80-inch television, all the way down to a smartphone. Okay, so there are several principles. Here are the versions that we're going to use: desktop, tablet, and mobile. Okay, now there are two principles here. One is what we call progressive enhancement versus graceful degradation. This one's prettier. Okay, so in order for this for you guys to pick one, you have to figure out what your target audience is. You know what target audience is?
Computer.
No, the term target audience is means which demographic or who's going to actually visit your page. Now you guys are young, okay? I believe you're millennials or something like that. So you guys are young. So you guys normally browse. If you were to raise your hand, you guys normally browse on a smartphone, not normally on a computer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be a fair assessment? You guys browse mostly on your smartphone?
Yes.
Yes.
So I'm of a little bit older generation. I browse through a desktop computer. Okay, sometimes yes, I use my smartphone, but normally I prefer to use a desktop computer. So that is important on your web design. Who's gonna see your page? Um, Also, what is your actual website about? If it's a website, for instance, for us professors, where we're going to grade uh, projects and upload grades and attendance and all that, it would be kind of hard to do it in a smartphone. Okay, but if your website has to do with I don't know, restaurants, when you're on the go, when you're outside, then you're not going to browse it through a desktop computer. You're outside, you're in your car, you're walking, whatever. So you're not going to use a desktop computer. So you have to think of that when you're starting to design your website. So if you decide that your website is going to be mostly viewed by in a desktop computer, but sometimes you want to add the functionality of being able to be viewed in a mobile device, then you're going to use um, well, I didn't like the name here. Didn't look at it. This one. It's taking a while. Then we're going to use this one, graceful degradation. As you can see, you start designing but in for a desktop environment, for a desktop computer, and you start moving things around, maybe hiding elements that you don't want to show, and designing downwards to a smartphone. So this is thinking that most of your users are going to use a desktop computer, and but you want to add the functionality that they can see it on a smartphone. So again, for a school website, web application like ours, normally us professors, we have a desktop computer. We're going to use the desktop computer and maybe sometimes use uh, a smartphone. Okay, but we're going to think this way. Now, if you're the other way around, if you're thinking that most of your audience is going to use a smartphone, and maybe sometimes you want to see it in a desktop computer and a tablet, then you're going to go this way, progressive enhancement. That means that you start off designing for a smart device, and then you start adding elements to it. Understand?
Yes, professor.
Okay.
Got it.
So um, when you're starting to design for different devices, what you have to do is first there's simple principles. One, the website is going to take 100% of the width of the screen. That means that you're not going to make the user. Let's go back to the other one. Oh, I think I closed it. No, not this one. Well, anyway, you're not going to make the user. Well, I'm going to show you this one. You're not going to make the user browse from left to right. Your the width of every element in your web page is going to be um, is going to add up to 100%. So if you use a smaller screen, everything is still from left to right taking all the screen. You use a little larger screen, the same thing. Okay, we've already done this part, so there's not much to it. But then later on, if I continue um, and use a smaller device, at some point, the elements are going to be too small to fit four divisions in this case in one smartphone. So what's going to happen is I'm going to rearrange things so they now look like this. Okay, but still 100% of the width. You can make the user scroll up and down, but never make the user scroll left to right. If you make the user scroll left to right, then your design is not very good. And again, this would be, let's say, a tablet, and maybe this at some point again, when you're making it smaller, it becomes a smartphone. So normally you're not going to start doing this, but Chrome, and this is how we're going to work. Chrome in the developer tools, and every browser has it. In the developer tools, you're going to see a little button here that toggles. You know what the word toggle means? Can you read the word there? Toggle?
Yes, but I don't know it.
T-L-E?
I don't know it.
Okay, toggle, and this is a word that we use a lot in programming. Toggle means when something has two states, like on and off, it switches from one to the other. So if something is on and you press the button, it turns it off. But if it's off and you press the button, it turns it on again. Okay? So toggle is switching from one state to the other when you have two states, on and off, visible or hidden, or whatever you want. Like your the buttons on your phone, if you have a mute button, you press it, it's mute. You press it again, it unmutes. Okay, so mute, unmute, and all of that. So hang up or talk or whatever, those are toggle, but it has to be between two states. In this case, it switches between a normal desktop version and a mobile device. Okay, so when I switch from a desktop version to a mobile device, okay, somebody's asking me here something. I think you can read it actually. Uh, I can check for different sizes. So let's say, for instance, for 80, and this is what a smartphone would look like. Of course, it's not going to be this big. It's probably going to look kind of like something like maybe this. This looks about right. Or we're going to do this. Maybe this, maybe a little longer, but I mean a little bit shorter, but something like this. And this is how you would see your website on a smartphone. Okay, something like this. So it looks good. If I go up to, let's say, 640, then this is how it would look on a tablet. Okay, if I go up to, let's say, 800, this might be what a tablet looks like. Maybe without somewhere. Let's say there. That's what a tablet would look like. And you could make the user move here. And again, if I go up to 1024, anything over 1024 is a desktop computer or a very large tablet. So it would look like that. And then 1280, and it's going to look like that. But this would be actually a desktop computer. Okay, so a desktop computer is going to look like that. Okay, got it?
Got it.
So we're going to start making our websites that should look good on a smartphone, on a tablet, and on a desktop computer. So these sizes that I use here, and I used, hold on. Actually, let's see if I can find it here. That's in Spanish. Okay, as you can see, you're gonna find different sizes. Let's open this one. So for instance, a desktop computer is gonna be somewhere around 1440 or to 1280, okay? Or actually bigger. Anything bigger than 1280 is actually a desktop computer or a big TV. 1280 is gonna be maybe a desktop computer also, or it's gonna be a notebook. Okay, 1024, a tablet in this is called landscape, and this is called portrait. Okay, remember those two words, landscape and portrait. Landscape is uh, vertical. I'm sorry, landscape is horizontal. And portrait is vertical. It's taking a while. But anyway, this is landscape, this is portrait. So again, you can see the different width. So we're gonna use different width. So 1440 is a widescreen desktop, 1280 is a desktop or a notebook computer, 1024 is maybe a tablet in landscape mode, 800 is either a phone in landscape or a small tablet in landscape, and so on. So we're gonna use these values, kind of like these values, for modifying the content of the website depending on those sizes. Okay. So we're gonna get in something called media queries. Did this thing open? Okay. You can see portrait, landscape. Kind of old, but this one's a little bit better. Portrait and landscape. Yep. So we're gonna start using something called media queries. Not exactly the same values, but close enough for different sizes. Okay, so we're gonna start doing that. So again, the first thing is 100% of the width is gonna be we're gonna take 100% of the width. Second is depending on the width, we're gonna start moving things around, and sometimes we're not gonna put everything on the mobile version. Everything that appears on the desktop version, we're not going to put it in the mobile version because it's probably going to take too much space. Okay, so we're also going to do that. So I gave you let me close this one up. I gave you this this project. Now we're also going to do the following today. Well, not today, today and tomorrow maybe. We're going to use something called Font Awesome. Now, what happens here is that if you want to add icons, I'll just look for something here. Let's say, if you want to add icons to your website, you have two options. One, you can use images, and two, you can use vectors, which are used kind of like fonts. That's why it's called Font Awesome. And if you use vectors, you have two advantages. One is that if you make the website bigger or larger, the icons are going to are not gonna be pixelated because they're vectors. A vector, as you should know, is instructions of how to draw this, not the actual bitmap. Okay, bitmap is every little pixel has a different color and that's it. But in vectors, you have you have the instructions to redraw it. Okay, and the other is that if I want to, when I put the cursor on top of it, I want to make sure that I want to change colors, so it's easier to use it as a font. So you just change the color of the font, and it changes the color of the image. Now, let me do this. I'm going to give you this link. Because one, Font Awesome has a whole bunch of different fonts, but I actually, if you see, I selected only free because we're not paying for them. So if I don't select free, you're gonna see a lot of icons grayed out. That's cool, but we can't use those unless you pay for them. So I selected only free, and actually we can only use the solid ones. The other ones are actually you have to pay for them. So we're only gonna use the solid ones. But that's enough. That's why I gave you the link says solid and free. Okay. Now you have to download this and apply it to your website and all that stuff. I already did that for you. So where is it? Here it is. So what I did is you have to in your CSS folder. I downloaded the Font Awesome style sheet. You don't have to do anything with that. That's already there. And I downloaded the web fonts. That's already there. As you can see, we're only using the solid web fonts. And also in JavaScript, I downloaded the Font Awesome folder. Again, only the solid, already there. So everything's already there. And just in your index, I already linked to the script and to the style sheets. Okay, so this works. So what I would suggest you do is this RAR file folder that I sent you, except for the photographs, this is like your empty project. So whenever I ask you to do another project, use this one again. We're just gonna change the images and stuff like that. Okay, so no need to add anything else. Got it?
Got it.
Got it. Thank you. The-
Got it.
Okay, so what we're gonna do a little
なぜ
online
これに乗るの
page. We're gonna sell actually. You can see products here. We're gonna sell backpacks and stuff like that. Well, I can't open it, but they're there.
Mhm.
I don't know why it couldn't open that one. There we go. So we're gonna sell some backpacks. I also sent you one user. I don't think we're gonna use it because the user's not gonna be logged in. We're gonna use it because just so we have something to show. Okay, but you don't have to be logged in. And I sent you some images. This is the login that we use. The website's going to be called Summit. A summit is the top part of a mountain, so that's what it is. And the background that we're going to use for not for the whole web page, but for part of the web page. Okay,
Mhm.
got it. So first, we're going to start creating the elements. So we're going to have a header. And remember, the way we start is using well, in your case, I'm going to use I'm going to go a little bit old school here, so I can show you how to close and show and hide elements. Okay, got it?
Got it.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Right.
right now we have everything just together. Where am I? So we need to fix that. I'm gonna try to do this. Not this. This is too advanced for you. Okay, so we're gonna start doing a little bit of styling. And we'll start with the, don't worry about this. This is the media queries I told you about. We're gonna use these, but well, I'll explain to you those a little bit later on. So the body, the background is gonna be 111. And then we can start with the header. And position, relative, float, left, width, on pixels, 100%, background. Still there, they're just I'm not gonna put the nav. The nav is really old school, and I don't like it. I'll put it like this. Okay, so everything's still there, just can't see it. Content. So again, everything's still there. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna do a mock-up first, and then we're gonna work on the design.
I got it.
Got it.
Okay.
I got it, teacher. Professor.
Okay, so we're gonna work on the header. Now the header is gonna have two elements. Some parts of the header are gonna be aligned to the left, and parts of the header are gonna be aligned to the right. Okay. So here in header, I'm sorry, div ID, oh, actual class. Well, ID. It's only one. Of course, you can see them as they're all together though.
Mhm.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay, so we're gonna
Yes,
go
I got
to styling here. Yeah. Do you have any questions?
No.
It's clear for now.
Okay. So we're gonna align the header left to the left, header right to the right. Okay. So they have certain things in common, like the position. We're actually going to use a height. We'll do 60 pixels. And for now, the background color, we're gonna erase it, but we're just gonna make sure that it's there, right? Oh, and they both display flex. And flex orientation. Flex direction. It's gonna be row. Align items. Center. We've seen this, so I'm just remembering. Header left is gonna flow from the left, and header right is gonna float from the right. So you should have one side over here and the other side over here.
Got it.
I got it.
Okay.
All good.
Okay. So now we're gonna work a little bit on header left. And we're gonna have two elements, one for the menu and one for the logo. So we're gonna have div ID header logo. I'm sorry, header menu. I'm not gonna put the whole word, just this to symbolize the menu. And div ID header logo. Header logo. Okay. So we have two of them.
Mm,
Got it.
got it. Mm,
Okay, so again, we're gonna work a little bit on these styles. We'll do here. Header logo. I'm gonna put a size to it just so you can see where it is. So again, position relative, float left. Actually, header logo and header. Yeah. Actually, this is header menu. And I'm going to put some background color just so you can see it. And menu. I'm going to put a width. It's going to be 20 pixels. Height, 20 pixels. Later on, I'm going to erase this because I'm actually going to put a content in it. And the content should be enough. Now, as you can see, I need a little Okay, I'm going to change the height to 70. And again, what I was saying is I need a little bit of margin on the left side of the elements here. So I'm gonna go, actually this is gonna be 32 by 32. And I'm gonna put margin left 10 pixels. So it aligns to the left. I think 32 by 32 is too big. Maybe 20 by 20. Probably gonna look better. And the header logo, the image is actually, again, later on, since I'm gonna put content, I can erase these sizes, but right now, just to see how they look, this is the actual size of the logo. It's gonna be that big. Okay.
With me, don't change. Okay, got it.
Yes, I got it.
Everybody?
Mm. Mm.
I got
I
it.
got it, Professor.
Got it.
Okay. So now we're gonna work on the right side. On the right side, we're gonna have the user image, and then we're gonna have several icons for like the shopping cart, the region, the currency, and all that stuff, right? So we're done with the left side for now. We're gonna work on the right side. So we're gonna have div ID user photo. And div ID actual class. Header right icon. And we're actually going to have 3 of them. Because we're going to have three icons. One for the shopping cart, one for the region, and the other one for the currency. Okay.
Okay.
No. I got it.
Okay, back to style, because right now, well, you don't see them. So it's gonna say header. I'm sorry, it's user photo. Oh, we erased something. User photo and header right icon. What did I write? Icon. is going to be, well, the background, again, I'm going to erase it later. It's going to be 777. Position, relative, float, right. And it's going to have a margin to the right. Margin right. 10 pixels. And our user photo, the width is going to be 32 pixels. And header right icon, width and height are going to be 20 pixels. These I can erase later on.
Mhm. Mm, mm.
Okay, you got it?
I have a little problem. Only
I got
have
it.
I only have three squares.
3 what?
Squares.
Squares
Quadrado.
here?
Uh-huh.
Well, you should have 4.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. User. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, got it?
Got it.
Okay, so now your screen looks like this, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so now that we have the header mockup, well, we're not going to do the whole mockup right now. We're just going to do the header and finish the header, and then we're going to move on to the content. So now that we have this, we're going to start replacing the placeholders with actual content. So then we can actually erase the background color, and we can erase some sizes. Okay. So for the menu, what we're actually going to do is we're going to put a font awesome icon here. Okay. So we're going to look for we're going to go to the font awesome gallery, and we're going to look for menu. We'll say menu. And we're going to use this one, the one that says bars. Now, in order to paste it on your HTML page, since I already we already added all the style sheets and JavaScript files required for this. All you have to do is, if you click it, eventually it'll open up. Okay. And you'll see the HTML code that you have to put. So all you have to do is copy it. So it's copied. In the header left, instead of the menu, we're gonna put this. I'm gonna place it here.
Okay, next to menu. Header menu.
I got it.
And now, as you can see, my internet connection is unstable. Okay, as you can see, the image is not the size I want, is not the width I want, is not the correct style I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put styles for these elements. Okay, so I'm going to go here, styles, and all the way down here, a little bit above the media queries, I'm going to put font awesome. And I'm going to put the following class. I'm going to say icon. An icon is going to be color I'm actually going to put light icon. Also this. Remember that we use hover. Hover is when you move the cursor on top of the image. So when we move the cursor on top of the image, I want the color to be a little bit lighter. And also we're going to use different sizes. So I'm going to use the small icon. And it's going to be font size. It's going to be 20 pixels. Then normal icon is 32 pixels. Font size 2 pixels. And big icon, if we ever need it. I'm not sure that we will, but just in case, font size 64 pixels. Okay. We're gonna do, just to finish it off, dark. Dark is gonna be for when we have a light background. So this is gonna be 333. Actually, the other way around. 555. It's gonna be 333.
And that you can hold it. Okay,
Got it?
got it.
Okay, so first here for the header menu, we're gonna take out the width and height. And actually, we're gonna take out the background also. We don't want that now. So we have this, but we're gonna replace it.
Header menu.
Okay, so we took that out. Now we're gonna go here to the menu, and we're gonna add classes. This one's gonna be an icon. So when we apply the icon class, now it has the cursor. Okay, and then it's also gonna be there's a light icon. So that's gonna make it gray, lighter gray. And when we put the cursor on top of it, it's gonna make it a little bit lighter, okay? And finally, it's gonna be a normal icon. Actually, it's gonna be a small icon. And you can play with it. If you don't think that's big enough, you can go with normal icon. And put it like that if you want. And you can play with the colors if you want to make it a little bit lighter. Now, in order to see the exact color contrast, we need to take out the background color for the header left and header right.
Header left.
Okay, so that's the exact color it's going to have. So again, it's up to you if you want to use normal icon or small icon. Okay. Just going to change one thing here, the margin left. I'll do 20 to make it a little bit more spacing. Give it a little bit more spacing. I'm going to use normal icon. I'm going to do this big. Okay. So you can play around with those. So right now it's going to be icon. It's just a cursor. Light icon is the colors and the hover color. And normal icon is the height, the width. Well, actually the size of it. Okay. Got it?
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And now we're going to do the image. So this one's going to be easy. It's going to be image, source. So it's images, logo, and that's it. So that would be the header logo. I'm gonna make the header a little bit darker. I think the logo is gonna pop if I make it a little bit darker. And that looks a little bit better. Okay, we got it.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Okay, so now we're gonna go to the right side. So header left, we can collapse that and start working with this. And again, we're gonna put the image of the user. So again, image source. This case is gonna be photos, users, and the only one we have. Of course, it's gonna be too big, but we're gonna change that with styling.
Mm. Photos. User. Okay, users. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
No. Ready.
Okay. So we're gonna do a little bit of styling for the image on user photo. I'm gonna go down to user photo. I'm gonna say user photo IMG. We're gonna have width 100%. Actually, well, same thing, but actually height 100%. And for the radius, 16 pixels. Again, let's take out the background colors. The divisions are still there, you just can't see them anymore. If you want, so we can see them, I'm just gonna put them in header right icon. I'm gonna put the background color here so you can see where they are. I keep sliding them.
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
Got it.
Yes, I got it.
I got it.
Okay, so now we're gonna take out the background color here. We know they're there. Actually, I don't even need the I don't even need this because I don't need the width and height. It's gonna be set by the content. So they're already there, doesn't matter. But here, I'm gonna add icons again. So I'm gonna look for a shopping cart.
Shopping cart.
And I'm gonna find this one here. Getting coffee. Okay, so I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. Then I'm gonna look for a region, world, world. I'm gonna use globe. So again, I'm gonna copy it. Put it here. And then I'm gonna look for currency. Currency means money. So I'm gonna look for this one or this one. Okay, so I have those three. Now I have to actually apply the style. Remember that we created a style. They're there, but you can't see them. So remember, I have to say that they are icon, light icon, and small icon. That goes for all three of them. So now it's there. I can copy this, paste it here and here. I want to make it a little bit lighter. Kind of too dark. Then that looks better. Now, in the case of currency, the region here, after it, I'm gonna put Mexico, and then here after this, I'm gonna put how do you abbreviate pesos?
MNM.
MXN. I don't know why, but that's MXN. We actually had to give a little bit of styling for the text. We haven't actually said it, so it looks kind of ugly. Okay. So we have that. Now what we're gonna do is that's for the header right icon. I erased it. Okay, so header right icon. The font size. I believe if I do this, it's gonna change for header right. Actually, it's a class, right?
Yes.
I think it's gonna mess up the icon size. No, it didn't. There you go.
Professor,
Yeah.
the icons are the is the shopping cart, the globe, and what else?
Search for one.
Hmm?
Search for it.
Money bill.
Search for the one you want. It's a little bill. Copy and paste it. I'm not gonna give you all the icons you're gonna use.
Money bill.
You're gonna have to add the icons you want. So you can look for it.
Okay. Icon, the icon. Small icon. Here.
Okay,
Okay.
we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we have our header. It's gonna get to the point where let's see, where if we do it in a small device, let's say 360, this is not gonna fit. Okay. So at some point we have to make this smaller, this the logo smaller, and this maybe just show the user and the card, not the region or something like that. Okay. So that's what we're gonna do. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the icon, the logo smaller. Okay, so for that, the logo is we're gonna give it an ID. We're gonna say logo.
ID.
Okay.
Mhm.
So now that we have this, now what we're gonna do is remember the media queries I told you here, down here, all the way down here. What we're gonna do is when it gets to a certain width, now the media query means is actually checking the medium. In this case, if it's a screen, if it's it's a printed, if you're gonna print the web page or something like that, and the maximum width. So we're gonna make the logo smaller when the width is a little bit smaller. So down here at 480, we're gonna say when the maximum width of the screen is 480, the image logo or the element with logo. Actually, we don't need to put an ID for this. We could use ID header logo. So for header logo, the image, the width, we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. Let's say 150 pixels. So let's see how that looks. I should make it smaller. Ah. What's wrong? Oh, there we go. A little bit of error here. So whenever it gets a little bit smaller, I'm going to have to make it a little bit bigger, but I actually have to center it. So I believe that's part of the styling here. I'll take this out. Let's take it all out. I don't need it. It's going to align it anyway. So big and a little bit smaller. But as you can see, it's still not small enough. And maybe the menu make it a little bit smaller. So if I want to make the menu a little bit smaller, I have to kind of give it a little ID here. So it's going to be menu bar, just menu. Menu icon. So give it an ID to that element. And again, when it gets to that point, we're going to say menu item, menu icon. And we'll say font size. Okay, so the menu icon, the font size, we're gonna make it a little bit smaller. So for 360, it's gonna be smaller. For anything else, it's gonna be bigger. Actually, for 480, it's gonna be smaller. But as you can see, there's a little bit of where it doesn't quite fit. Okay, so you have to take care of that. I think the logo is too small. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna not show these icons here. We're just gonna show the shopping cart. The rest we're not gonna show it. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the two logos here, these two. We're gonna put them inside a div. We're gonna call it header right icons. So those two. We're gonna put them inside a div. Okay. You got the not the shopping cart, just the other two. So header right icon is gonna be those two. This one, the one for the region, and the one for the currency. So again, over here, what I'm gonna do is for those two, display. I'm gonna just say none. So it's not gonna display them. Display none. So let's see if it works. Just a little bit. Just a little bit there. There's a little time when I want this. A little bit of time when it doesn't fit. So I'm gonna actually hide them on the second jump, on the next to last jump. So up here. So they're gonna be hidden from at this point, and then we should be fine. This is very, very small. So this, you should never get to this. The smallest you'll find is 360, which it fits fine. Okay, that fits fine. No problem. So I was gonna look at a smartphone, and then a little bit larger smartphone, and then a tablet, and the rest of the page. Got it?
Got it.
Any questions at this point?
I have a Little problem. MXN and MEX is under the icons and is not in the right side.
Okay, they have to be. Remember the. Where am I? You have to check the position, but actually they have to be in line. So flex orientation has to be in line, has to be row. So everything is in line.
Either left, either right. Okay. This row, flex direction, row. This row.
Make sure you have everything correct. Position, float, all of that.
Either maybe, either right.
Got it? Okay, so now we're gonna work on the content on this part here. So we're gonna collapse the header and work on the content. And we're gonna have the you know what a SKU is?
The database or
I think I asked you this before. You know what an SKU is? SKU means stock keeping unit. It is the identification of a product. Okay? So we're going to show the image. We're going to show the SKU. We're going to show the model of the product. We're going to have the price and a button to add to cart. Okay? So we're going to have I forgot to add a no picture photo here. So hold on, let me just add one here. Oh. Hold on. Just look for one. image. Actually, save image. So I'm going to save it in images, actually in products. If it ever allows me to. There we go. Let's see. So I'm gonna save it here. Photos, products, no image. Okay. And look at this. Not gonna look pretty right now, but we're gonna make it look nice. We're gonna have all this, but we'll fix it. Got it?
Got it.
I got it.
Okay, so let's do a little bit of
Yes, I got
styling
it.
here. Now we want to show, because I have 5 elements here, I want to show 4 images in a row. So I'm not going to make it too big. So I'm going to show 4 products, and then the next one is going to be below it. So I'm going to show 4. So the width of the elements, in order for me to show 4 of them, has to be 25%. So 25%, that makes it 4. But I have to take a little bit off because of the margins I'm going to use. So I'm going to say width is going to be calculate 25% minus 20 pixels because of the margins. The margin is going to be 10. So that's 10 on one side, 10 on the other, that's 20. And right now the background is going to be white. Well, right now I'm only looking at one. So I actually have to like copy this and paste it 4 more times. So I have 5. Okay, but it looks kind of ugly because the image is too big. But once I get the image down, we're good. Okay, so I'm gonna say product. All the divs in the product class, I'm gonna have position, relative, with 100%. Display flex. Justify content. That's going to be center. And just so we can look at them, background, a little bit of background color there. And just for the image, is actually product photo, image, image with 80%. Okay. Okay. Let me see. So again, those are the 4 divisions. We need to get a little bit of margin up here. Didn't I put the background of product F? Oh, I was taking this, so okay. So never mind. So it's going to be product SKU. Actually, let's do product div here, a class. So let's go a bit different. So over here, the class will do to all of them. It's going to take a while. Okay. Product, photo, product, SKU, product, model, product, price, and product button.
And for the price.
Why is it still gray? Let me check. Where's it getting the background from? White. Okay, they're all 100%. I forgot they were 100%. So we're good. Okay, so margin 5 pixels. Oh, actually, yeah. Margin top 10 pixels. I'm gonna take the color out. So like I said, it's a little bit big because I wanted to show them. I'm going to show them like this. Okay. So I'm just going to change the style for the, well, first I'm going to add a little bit of border to this. A little bit gray. So that border is going to be 1 pixel wide. So that's 2 pixels, one on each side. So I have to erase it from here. I have to subtract that border. So I'm going to say border, 1 pixel solid. It's going to be just slightly darker. Slightly darker. Okay, so now we're going to change the SKU, the model. What about the price? Did I forget about the price? I didn't. I just forgot to put some text in there. So I'm going to put price on all of them. Okay, so let's just give style to all of these. So we'll start with product SKU. We're gonna make it very light and very small. So 8 points and possibly smaller. And the color is gonna be very, very light. Normally, when you see the SKU in the product, is very small. Okay, so something like that, you just see it like this. The model is going to be bigger. And the color is darker. You save it? And let's do it bold. Okay, that's going to be the product. And the price. It's not going to be bold. Same size, not bold. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to I have an editing software. Well, image editing software. My license expired, but it still works. So I'm gonna open the logo and get colors from there. So I'm gonna use, for the price, let's say I use this one here. What happened? That's good. Anyway. D7C217. So I'm afraid that it's going to crash. D7C217. So let's see. D7C217. Let's see how that looks. Not too pretty, but something happened to my logo. It was a little bit brighter, if I remember correctly. Okay, I'm gonna do that way just so it has a different color and not bold. And finally, the product. Is it button or buttons? Button. And actually, it's going to apply only to button. It's going to be cursor, pointer, border, 0 pixels, background color. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use the same one. Font size 12 points. Color white. Adding 10 pixels, 20 pixels. Margin 10 pixels. Border radius. Okay, let's see how that looks. Add the add to cart button. You just have to change the color. So it's going to be this. But hover. That's when we pass the cursor on top of it. And let's see if this thing still works. So I use this one for the button. I'm going to use this one here. E3 CD 18. Actually, I copied it here. Okay, so it makes it a little bit lighter. Got it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, everybody else, any questions?
No, Professor.
Okay, now as you can see, when it's very big, it's fine. But as it gets smaller, it's at this point, maybe we should just see only 3 images per row. Okay, and definitely here. So at some point we need to make them larger, so they only fits 3, and then only fits 2, and only fits 1. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. So again, that would be product, specifically this part of product. So at some point down here in the media queries, I'm gonna say when it gets to 1024, I'm gonna say that the product, the width is gonna be 33.3%. That's 1/3. Again, minus 22 pixels. Okay, so at some point, it will do this. We have 4 and then 3, and then eventually 2, then eventually 1. Okay, so 4, and then when it gets less than 1024, it should jump to 3. Okay, so that's the code here. And again, the same thing we're gonna do when it gets to 800 is going to be 50. Is going to be 50%. So that's going to make it only 2 per line. And then when it gets to let's say 480, is going to be 100%. So just 1. Okay, so 4, then 3, then 2, then 1. Okay? You can see it a little bit better this way. So you have 4, and 3, and 2, and then 1. Got it? While you finish that, let me take attendance here. Okay, so Aguilera, Eagler, not here. Aguilera, Eagler, not here.
In the chat, teacher. Professor.
Right, there she is. Alvarado,
Here.
Barcázar,
Here.
always smiling. Bartolo, or laughing,
Here.
actually. Baptist of the Cross,
Present.
Burgos, not here. Cáceres,
9%.
Cross, not here. Thorny Square,
Present, Professor.
hey, you remember your last name. Flowers Warrior,
Present, Professor.
Garcia Lion,
Here.
Crane, Arce, Uribe, don't sleep. Okay, let's see, where were we? Hold on. Crane was here?
Yes, Professor, I'm here.
Okay. Gonzalez Camacho?
Here.
Gonzalez War?
Present.
Levano?
Here, Professor.
Marquez? Marquez?
Here.
Redberry? Redberry's not here? Not in the chat? Okay. Cross Arevalo, assistance means help. Not that you mean attendance. Okay, so Redberry's not here, right? Morales?
Here.
Ortega?
Here. Here.
Yeah, I can hear you. No,
Okay.
Patiño?
Here.
Ramirez? Heredia? Ramirez Square?
Here.
Kings?
Here, teacher. Professor.
Rodriguez?
Present.
All right, what happened? Okay. No. Oh, Roman?
Present.
Salazar?
Present.
Uribe, are you paying attention? Okay. Vargas? Vargas? Not Vargas. You don't have Vargas. Velarde? No Velarde. Victoriano?
Here.
Well, why doesn't Ortega say something in the chat? If Velarde has no internet, then he's not in class. Ortega has attendance. Cross. You didn't have attendance. You have now. Okay, so everybody finished with this?
Yes.
Any questions at this point?
Nope.
Professor, I have a little problem. And the button and the model and HQ is in the right side, is not in the underside. I don't know why. I think
You have to center them. That's why I said that all the elements are centered.
in content,
See, that's a
I-
content. Centered. And
product,
they're 100%, the width 100%, so it's centered 100%.
width 100% and display flex, specific content centered. Yes. I don't know where I did the mistake.
Neither do I. Kind of hard for me to tell. Okay, I want you guys to switch the images for the photographs of the actual products. So I want you guys to come here and products. The products are just 1001. Well, actually 1002 to 1006 Z is here. 1. Actually, there should be. The first one also counts. So, Sina. Red 201.jpg. JPEG. So we're gonna have to actually add another one, and then it's 1002.001. Four. And I'm gonna have to copy it again. So it's 1006. So there's actually 6 of them. Now we have to fix this part here, because the images are not the same width. Okay, so we're gonna change it a little bit. It's gonna be, I think this should work. So we're gonna put a height to them. Let's say 240. Let's see how that looks. Looks fine. So they also have the same height, and the maximum width, in case the image was too wide, but they're not, is 240. But again, we have to make them a little bit smaller as the images, I don't know, I think it looks fine. This one, as you can see, since the image is too wide, at this point, is squishing the image, because I have maximum width of 80%. It cannot exceed that, but I'm going to put it 100% so it can get all the way to the border. So let's see if that works. Looks fine. Looks fine. What happened to? Oh. Look how squished together there, but that's okay, I guess, for now. Okay, so we changed the image. Okay, Vargas was out. He came back in. Okay, so we're gonna leave it here, and tomorrow we'll continue. Okay. So have this ready as it is right now. Oh, I forgot an image up here. The actual image that we're gonna show. So have that ready. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. See you.
So see you tomorrow.
You